firstborn.
Kourtney Kardashian always tries to portray herself as the sweet, loving sister, but there's a darker side to her that keeps being exposed, especially by her staff. Some crazy stories about Kourtney's mean behavior have come out, and you guys won't believe what she's actually like behind the scenes. Kourtney got into a lot of trouble after a clip of her arguing with Kim went viral. In the clip, Kim called Kourtney out for being rude to her staff.
She was crying and she thought she was gonna lose her job.
She said that Kourtney made her children's nanny feel so embarrassed that the nanny started crying. Kim also claimed that Kourtney yelled at the nanny, who was already in tears.
She said that she felt so degraded by you.
But Kourtney denied this ever happened. She accused her nanny of lying about the whole incident because her perspective was quite different from what the nanny told Kim. She also explained that it was the nanny who raised her voice first. The nanny allegedly raised her voice at Kourtney's young son Rain, calling him a liar. So Kourtney, being his mother, got offended and defended her son. However, the argument didn't get resolved after Kourtney explained herself. It really just got worse.
And we could have talked in private, but for her to yell at me in a restaurant.
Kim told Kourtney that she wasn't firing her nanny because she liked to keep her staff for a long time. After that, Kourtney harshly asked Kim to keep quiet. A lot of people were shocked by that because Kourtney mostly portrays herself as the calmest of the sisters. But when the story about her drama with Kim's nanny went viral, many began to have doubts. They started calling her a pretender, and then things took an even crazier turn. After the whole video went viral, many of Kourtney's ex-employees came forward with their wild stories about her and her behavior. One example said that she was the most ill-mannered and inconsiderate member of the family and also a total neat freak. Then she called Kourtney out for being very overprotective of her children. According to the ex-employee, Kourtney micromanages babysitters and nannies by asking them what they're doing with the kids every minute. This information got reinforced when a 2019 clip resurfaced of Kourtney doing this exact thing. In the clip, Kourtney was seen discussing an incident with Scott Disick, Chris, and Corey Gamble. The conversation revolved around the fact that Kourtney's daughter Penelope scratched her nanny. At the time, Kourtney revealed that she didn't have a nanny anymore because Penelope scratched her in the face while she was putting her in the car. She then proceeded to defend her daughter by saying that she just had her out of control days. And she accused the nanny of not saying anything to calm Penelope down. Obviously, a lot of people thought that this was ridiculous, but there's more, because after the clip resurfaced, another ex-employee came forward to reveal that Kourtney was overbearing as an employer. Apparently, at one point, she told everyone in the house to stop wearing perfume because she didn't like the smell, and she supposedly delivered the instructions in a really harsh tone. Then, there was also the time when Kourtney had a meeting with her assistant Liz Mueller and her stylist Danny Michelle. Danny was talking to Kourtney about wedding dress designs and details for her wedding to Travis Barker. Then Kourtney received a call, and what she did next was incredibly rude. She just answered the call without telling Danny that she would. It was like Danny wasn't speaking to her at all. The caller ended up being Kourtney's daughter Penelope, and the only reason she was calling was to ask if she could have an acai bowl. It was a ridiculous situation, and Kourtney came across as really rude, but there's more. Later on during the meeting, Kourtney got very irritated with Danny when the stylist suggested that she might get stressed at her wedding approaches. Kourtney replied that she didn't want to be stressed because there was nothing to be stressed about. Danny then tried to explain herself by saying that what she meant was that it was a special moment people wait their whole lives for and that often stresses them out. But Kourtney abruptly cut her off. She coldly told Danny that she had never thought of a wedding until recently. Her response to Danny had the stylist retreating and saying that maybe she was projecting her stress on Kourtney. The outrage at the video was unmatched because everyone could see that Danny had only been speaking out of concern for Kourtney. But the insane thing is that Kourtney doesn't just treat her staff like this. She can sometimes get like this with her sisters too. There was one moment especially between Kourtney and Kim that was just crazy. This happened in a 2018 episode of their reality show when Kourtney made some really insensitive comments about Kim's body. In the episode, Kim walked up to Khloe and Kourtney, who were standing in the kitchen, and when Kourtney saw her, she commented that Kim was really scrawny and looked like a bobblehead. Kim was visibly annoyed at Kourtney's statement, but she just replied, "Thank you," and left. Kourtney's remarks were incredibly rude and unnecessary, especially since everyone knew that the reason Kim was trying to get fit was so that she could wear Marilyn Monroe's famous sparkling dress to the Met Gala. Kourtney obviously knew this, but she still made those comments. But scenes like this didn't just happen with Kim. Kendall complained about Kourtney's attitude toward her as well. In another episode, Kendall was telling Khloe about when Kourtney tagged along on a ski trip to California with Kendall's friends. Kendall said that although she was getting closer to Kourtney, she felt like there was just some moments when Kourtney was very mean to her, and she said that it was really hurtful. Kendall gave two examples. She said that at one point during the trip, Kourtney put her foot up on the center console in Kendall's car, and it wouldn't wouldn't have been a problem, except it was rainy and muddy outside, so Kourtney's shoes were dirty. When Kendall expressed her concerns, Kourtney told her that it was just a car, and then she put her feet on the headrest instead. The other example Kendall gave was how later on the trip, Kourtney made fun of her after she asked one of her friends, Faye Kadra, to keep her car keys on him while they went skiing. Apparently, Kendall was very concerned because she wasn't sure her friend had a zip pocket. She was worried about the keys getting lost, but Kourtney dismissed her worries by telling her to calm down and that it was just keys. The statement made her friends laugh, and Kendall admitted to Khloe that it felt like Kourtney was brash to her throughout the whole trip just to get validation from her friends and feel cooler. She was upset about what happened during the trip because it felt like people were picking on her and Kourtney just joined them most of the time. Khloe got very angry about this. She'd apparently expected Kourtney to be an older sister to Kendall, but instead, she just kind of became a bully. The crazy part of all this was that when Kourtney was confronted about this, she didn't really even try to defend herself. In fact, she basically didn't say anything at all, which was just insane. It made a lot of people believe that she really is a mean girl. Obviously, being mean to your family isn't okay, but being mean to your staff is also completely unacceptable. But Kourtney doesn't seem to know that, which is pretty concerning. But what do you guys think? Do you think Kourtney is actually a mean person? What do you think about how she allegedly treats her staff? Let me know in the comments below.